How
your
are my favorite
movement.
girls in the world doing? I am so excited to be here. I am gonna be honest. I'm literally in between working hours. Like, I'm gonna be working in 1 hour and 20 minutes. I was supposed to have recorded this before. Usually I record on Wednesdays. It's already Thursday. This episode should have been out already, but it's been one of those weeks where I've just been really like navigating a lot of highs and lows and a lot of like energy stuff because I just got my period. I was just feeling low energy, and I really wanted to honor that. Like, I'm back with working with my guides, and that's always such a such a journey because not all of them are nice. Okay, some of them, like, I hope they're not listening to this. They probably are, but they can be tough, and I've had to face some shit this week, and they're holding me accountable. So just the fact that they're allowing me to record this, I was literally promising them, like, I'm gonna make this as chill as possible because I don't want to like give too much of my energy right now, as I am still kind of feeling a bit, just navigating low energy, and I'm almost like on my last days of my period. So taking it slow, that's been really important for me. But I do want to talk about me moving out of my parents' house and how that adaptation has been right now. And when I was thinking about all of this experience with au-pairing in another country again, after having one of the best experiences of my life in Italy, like when I went to Italy for 3 months to do au-pair there, that was literally one of the most life-changing decisions of my life. Like, it literally pivoted my entire life, my entire energy. It was like the most giant, amazing portal that I've ever, had the privilege and the opportunity to walk through, and it was such a meaningful experience that, like, I will remember forever. I literally miss Italy every single day. Like, if I'm being honest, I miss Italy every single fucking day of my life. Just remembering, reminiscing on those moments that I would walk the streets of Venice and just like look around and feel so in love with life. Like, I'll never forget that feeling, and that feeling was one of the reasons why I decided to, do this again. Also because I needed out. Like, I needed to have my own space. I needed my independence. I needed to, just go out in the world and figure it out for myself, which hasn't been easy because, like, I love my independence, but it's also scary when you're doing it all on your own and you have to figure shit out and you have to move through so many things that, at least for me, they make me uncomfortable. Like, adulting isn't always pleasant. It also means taking a lot of responsibility, which is always something that I've been known to avoid. I know now because I go to therapy, and that's been one of the biggest things in our sessions. We talk a lot about that because I didn't realize just how much I kept running away from responsibility in my life, but I did, and it just got to a point where I just couldn't anymore. And I knew I needed something different. Like, I knew I needed to change. I knew I needed a change of scenery. I knew I needed my own space. And I did not know that this is where I would end up. But when I did decide to come here, I guess I was expecting a more like, I don't know, a more intense kind of experience where I would get here and it would be uncomfortable and different and everything would change and just feel like there would be this major shift in my life. But curiously enough, it's been very natural, which feels uncomfortable, but also is a good thing. I feel like I was just so ready, for that change. I was so ready to move out of my parents' house. I was so ready to start my life. While at the same time, there's a part of me that misses it. There's a part of me that is still kind of grieving. I don't think I've fully given myself the chance to grieve moving out, because I know, like, I feel it in my bones that was it. That was the last time I ever lived with my parents, and that is a relief. No offense if you're listening to this, like, that's a relief. But at the same time, it does give me this like nostalgia, like kind of like sadness about it that I was not expecting. Like, I was not expecting to feel sad. Yeah, but just the thought that, like, it's not even that I'm not going to live with them again, but that living with my parents was a sense of comfort, and it was something that I've literally lived with my parents since I was born. Since I came out into the world, since I exist, I've lived with my parents. And sure, I've been abroad here and there. I've had experiences where I wasn't like living with them, but at the end of the day, I knew I was always going to come back home. So that did give me a sense of like security or just comfort. And yeah, it just gave me something that told me like, I know where home is, at least the physical home. I knew that it was there. And now I'm in this place where like I don't feel quite at home yet, at least physically, in terms of like this space, like this room doesn't fully feel like my home yet, although it's growing on me for sure. Like, I've always loved my room, I've always loved this house. I'm in love since day one. I've been in love, okay? But yeah, it's still like I'm still making in my space, it's only been a month, but yeah, what I've noticed though is that I feel at home with myself, which I've never felt before. Not to this degree, not to this depth. I genuinely feel so comfortable with myself, and I feel like I've gotten to a point of my life where, yeah, like I've lost myself many times, and I've found myself all those times as well. And I think that gives me a knowing of like, no matter where I am and no matter what happens in my life, I know I can always come back to that. I can always come back home to myself, and that's the most home I'll ever have is with me, right? Yes, some people can be home, like my best friend is a home in a way, and my family is a home in a way, but and my home, my house, my physical place that I call home can be my home as well, but like nothing beats that feeling of knowing that I have myself. And that has been really important, and I think that's why this experience isn't as like, I don't know, abrupt and like tan. I do not know how to explain this without a sound effect. I was expecting something to change drastically. I was expecting this to be like a dramatic 360 or 180, but it hasn't been that way. It has felt very smooth, like a smooth transition, which I really wasn't expecting. And a part of me almost felt weird about it. Like I should be feeling that way. I should be feeling like this is transformational, because I just made probably one of the biggest moves of my life, and yet it doesn't feel that way. And it almost makes me question it. Like, it almost makes me wonder, like, what's happening? Like, is this not the right move? And I think it's because like I'm at this level that I was like, I've changed so much, and I've gone through so much transformation, so much death and rebirth this year as well, that like I associate growth with something really tough. But what I forget to remember is that it's been tough the entire year since that moment, So I think that moment I was just like already in a place where like the change had happened, but the physical, the 3D part of it, the circumstances of my life were still like, we're still getting it done. So it was like internally I was already changed. I was already ready for this step, but my reality hadn't caught up. Now it has, and it feels smoother than I thought it would be. But it's just been feeling so good. Like I was riding my bike today, which I'm in love with. Okay, this is one of my favorite things about the Netherlands, is that I get to ride my bike almost every day. That every time I'm out, I'm riding my bike, and I love that, because that's something that I love doing in Lisbon, and I love that I get to do here. But I was riding my bike today. I was just gonna be on like a bike ride. At first I thought I was going to the city center, but then I didn't stop there. I just kept riding, and I was like, okay, I guess it's one of those days where I'm just gonna wander around and see what happens. I got lost multiple times, but it was so fun. And I do not know how I found my way back home, because I did not use Google Maps. Like, I literally just went for it, and I was just like, whatever happens, I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna find my way. Of course, if I was like, okay, I'm like fully lost and I'm tired, like I need to get home like right about now, I probably would have pulled Google Maps, but I was just like, no, I'm going to challenge myself. I'm going to try to like figure out how to like get back home, although I have no idea where I am right now. So I just kept using some reference points, but then I kept losing the reference points, and then I kept getting lost and like going literally in circles multiple times. I just kept finding like the same street. I was just like, fuck, how did I end up here again? But it was really fun because I think it just, yeah, you know, I didn't feel lost necessarily. It was more like an adventure, you know. It was more like, ooh, let's try to see, and somehow I found my way back home, which I guess I always do, you know. It's a bit metaphorical for my life this year. It's just like I got lost over and over again, and it felt like I was going in circles, but somehow I found my way back home. When I thought all hope was lost, I found my way back home. And that was exactly what happened today. But this to say, I was going on that bike ride and, you know, just exploring the city. I'm in love with the city, by the way. I am in love with the city. It's beautiful. I don't know how it's going to change once like true winter hits, because I don't think I'm going to feel as excited about, you know, going on a bike ride those days. But it's been really, I don't know, exciting and comforting, and it just feels right. This is what I was telling my best friend, like, it feels right to be here. I can't say it feels like home, and I can't say it feels like my place or that I'm thriving here or that, like, no, that was Italy for me. Italy was like full on main character moment. I mean, it was summer as well, so that definitely helps. But it was just perfect. And I mean, and not because every day was amazing. I had so many ups and downs because I was actually going through a heartbreak at the time, from a situationship that I had found myself in. And so I was dealing with a lot of heartbreak and a lot of ups and downs, and also like business stuff as always. So emotions were there. It's not like I was feeling like amazing, incredible every day of my life, but there was just this underline of, I'm in fucking Italy, dude. You know, like, it just like felt like I was literally dreaming, but like I was awake, and that made it easier to cope with everything, to be honest. But this doesn't feel like it. It feels more like I feel grounded, and I feel like this is my opportunity to really work on myself and just like get established, you know, as an adult, as the person that I am right now. Let me get that. And it feels like this is the moment where I really discover myself, but like as an adult, right? Like I discover who I get to be in this new version of myself, in this new era of my life. Like I really feel like I'm walking into adulthood, which is kind of scary. I'm not gonna lie. Like it's scary. It feels uncomfortable, but it's also exciting to know that, you know, when I was younger, I think I've shared this story a few times, but when I was younger, I always had this fear that I wouldn't figure out my life, you know, that I wouldn't be able to move out of my parents, that I would feel that I would be a failure. And that's a fear I'm still working through. But I had that fear of like, I'm going to be 40 and I'm going to still live with my parents, or even worse, I'm going to like end up homeless, or like in the worst case scenario type of thing. I've always been a little dramatic. So just feeling like maybe I had no future, and always feeling terrified of even trying to picture that future, because I didn't see a path, you know, I didn't see a path where I was happy or where things worked out, because I didn't know what that would look like. I didn't know what I wanted to do, and the things that I did want seemed impossible. Some of them still do. And so to get to that point where I never thought I would be, and I moved out of my parents, and I don't know what that's gonna look like for me. I don't know what's gonna happen once this experience with AuPair ends. I don't know if I'm gonna keep doing AuPair somewhere else, if I'm gonna extend my experience here, if some other opportunity finds me. I'm sure some opportunity will find me, but I just don't know what. And that is still a fear that I'm navigating. My therapist is like, you don't need to focus on that. Like, it's still a year from now. I'm like, yeah, but like 1 month has already gone by. Like, what do you mean? It means that there's like 11 more months left, and it's going fast as fuck. Like, I also wasn't expecting that. Like, it's moving, it keeps moving because I'm busy. So like the days are going by so fast, and I feel like I'm doing a lot, but also like, you know, when you're doing a lot but then you're not seeing the physical change right away, it kind of feels that way as well. Even with my business, I feel like I've been having all these ideas and things are working out in ways that they haven't for a while, and I feel the pieces come together in some ways, but in other ways, like being impatient and feeling like it all needs to happen right now, otherwise like I'm fucking up or something. And those are all things that I'm navigating while I am, you know, working 30 hours a week, which again keeps me busy as fuck. And so, yeah, it's just been like a lot of those things happening internally that I am walking through. I actually I did 10 sessions with my therapist, and after that we were supposed to kind of stop, but she asked me like, what do you want to do? Like, what do you feel is right? Because we can stop now and come back like in a few months, or, you know, I can recommend you to a few other people to work on like more specific stuff related to money and business, blah blah. And I was just like, I really want to continue. Yes, I want to get the details out, because I feel like, first of all, you get this type of information. I don't share this like with everyone online, although more and more people are listening to the podcast now. But still, I feel like you are my VIP girls. Although now Patreon is like, I don't know, premium or something. Like, you guys are VIP, Patreon is premium, you know. But still, I'm getting paid $450 a month from the AuPair, because this is not like, in theory, this isn't like a job, because they're paying for housing, they're paying for food, they're paying for my maintenance, which is amazing. And I love this place and I love the family. They're honestly incredible, and I feel so lucky to have them. Like, they're generally amazing. Like, she literally bought me chocolates yesterday because she knows I'm on my period, and I've had a sweet tooth for like the entire week, and it's the second time that she buys me snacks. One of them, like yesterday, I didn't even have to ask for it. She just like brought literally the best chocolate. And so those little things make me feel really appreciated and made me and tell me like, yes, I'm in the right place. At the same time though, that's happening, but yeah, so it's not like a regular job, you know. I am getting paid the 450 euros, and I'm starting to, you know, get my business going again, so that feels good. And like, I'm working towards a certain goal in my business and a certain number and all those things, but for now that's basically all that I'm like, the money that I expect every month. 450 euros. Okay, I pay 130, I think, for therapy, and I am also on a membership where I pay 160, and that's like 320 euros, around that. So out of 450, I pay 320, and both those things were actually ending this month. Both the therapy and the membership were closing off. I still have to pay therapy even if I chose to stop it, because then there was like a payment plan, and so I would still have a few months. But, you know, overall it would have been like, financially it would have been the safest decision, at least the most logical one. I don't think most people would understand why I keep doing this, but I knew that in the phase of my life that I'm in right now, like, I need that support, and I don't want to like take that opportunity away from me, you know. Like, I would so much rather pay 300 euros by the end of a month, even if that means spending less on other things. But I would so much rather invest and buy that support for myself, knowing that has helped me grow so much in the last 6 months. You know, that has helped me the most. You know, I was feeling so stuck for so long, and that helped me get unstuck. That helped me move in ways that I didn't think I was brave enough to do. So that support is definitely like really important for me right now. And this to say, like, we've been working on that, especially in therapy. She's helping me really like take responsibility and do all these big moves and just process all of this. And I literally, like, we have a session on Monday, so in a few days from now. I cannot wait. And we're doing now like every other week, so 1 week we do it, 1 week we don't, which honestly I would rather do it every week, but I'm like, okay, I do want to be considerate of my budget as well, because I want to have like the means to live my life and all of that. But so I was like, yeah, every other week, I think that's enough. And it is already so helpful. But so I'm so looking forward to having that session with her, because it's like a lot is happening. I need help. Can you help me navigate all of this shit? It's been one of those weeks. I'm also on my period, so I'm extra sensitive, which I also want to kind of talk about, because it's been so important for me to learn how to create harmony with myself. Like, instead of always trying to like push, which is a response. It comes from my triggers. A response from, I need to keep going. I can never stop. If I stop, I'm not good enough. If I rest, like, I'm not doing enough. Like, I'm unworthy, or blah, blah. And I just find myself pushing a lot. And I am really holding myself accountable lately to not do that. And sometimes I really want to keep pushing. Sometimes I really want to convince myself that, like, no, like, I just need to keep going. I just need to go. But actually what my body needs is like, okay, let's pause. Let's like, let's be with myself for a second. I have this thing where sometimes I just like set a timer for 5 minutes and I just sit with my feelings. I just sit with my feelings, or I use the resources from the membership I'm in to regulate myself, or I journal, or I talk to my best friend, or I just talk to my guides out loud. I love doing that. Just like finding moments where I can really like sit with myself, because although this transition felt smoother than I was expecting, like energetically so much is changing, internally so much is shifting in my mindset and the way I perceive life, and also like, because this has given me such a ground, such a big structure, so important for my life where I am right now, because without structure it's so hard to grow. It's so hard to evolve when you don't feel that security supporting you, because how can you build a house without a foundation? Like, you need that foundation, you need that structure. So the fact that I put myself in a place where I do have that structure now and I can depend on it, that gives me a sense of like, okay, I'm available to work on all these other things. And so I have been doing a lot of that inner work, which has mainly sucked. Mainly it has not been pleasant, but that's also why I feel confident in myself in a way that maybe I didn't before. Not because I don't feel insecure. Sometimes I do have so much self-doubt and so many fears that are coming up very frequently lately, but I also have this, like, again, underlining confidence that I just know, like, I'm here for myself, and that I'm providing myself with all of this, and that I am aligning with the highest good by doing the work, even when it's unpleasant, even when it's hard. And I think that gives me a sense of security and confidence that I didn't have before, and that has helped me so fucking much as well. But so I've been really like navigating all these different changes, because yes, I was working like full-time in Portugal. Mostly I was working full-time. I was doing a lot of babysitting hours, you guys already know, but it feels different here, and I'm adapting energetically to that. For example, like, I usually wake up around 6:30 because I help prepare breakfast, and usually after breakfast I have a few hours. And on the first couple of weeks I was using those hours like, okay, let's work, let's do content, let's blah blah, and it felt exciting at first, also like, oh, let's explore, let's go here, let's go there. But then I was just exhausted, and I noticed like, I cannot sustain this. Like, if I keep going this way, I will literally die. Like, I will literally not be like, I will burn out in fucking seconds if I keep going like this. And I actually had a conversation with Lisa, with my best friend, I really like, guys, catch up, please. There's so many new people here that I feel like I need to keep saying it. But Lisa, aka best friend, aka wifey, aka love of my life. So I was talking to Lisa about it, and I was like, I'm just feeling really tired. She was like, girl, if you were home, if you were in Portugal right now, you would have had at least 1 or 2 days where you would have done nothing. You would have just sat in bed rotting, watching a show or doing nothing. Have you done that so far? And I was like, no, because I want to explore and I want to enjoy myself, but at the same time I was like actually pushing my body when my body needed rest. So that's been something that I've been navigating a lot. If you're ready to enter your most iconic main character era, then you need to stick around and hear this, okay? Before we keep going to the rest of the episode, I want to take a moment to talk about the Girls in Growth Patreon, which is a new addition to our world. And this is the place where you're going to learn to align with your dream life and live like your higher self so that you can attract all the things that you desire. All your manifestations, all your biggest dreams and goals are going to come to life because you are going to become the woman who naturally attracts them. You are going to learn the foundations that are going to make you more confident, more magnetic, and more unstoppable. So definitely go check it out, because on Patreon, you're going to receive all the tools, all the practices, all the step-by-step processes that allowed me to come so far in my journey. And I decided to share them all with you inside the Patreon. There's a 7-day free trial available for you if you want to check it out to see if it aligns with what you want and what you need right now. I'm gonna leave the link in the description of this episode. Definitely go check it out. I love you. Like, really learning to listen to myself and listen to like, how can I find harmony rather than push, force. Like, how can I surrender a little bit and just like trust whatever, trust the timing, trust the process, instead of trying to push the timing forward, instead of trying to rush things to get here, instead of trying to make it better. Just like let go a little bit, let go of that control, let go of that harshness, let go of that like pressure, and just see where I feel called to go. And then I actually, like, now something that I literally have made this my rule. Like, this is my boundary with myself at this point. I'm gonna take a nap every single day. Like, the only day where I'm still like navigating what I'm gonna do is usually this day, Thursdays, because the cleaning lady comes and she needs to clean my room. So I can't really go back to my room and sleep. But besides that day where I'm still wondering what I'm gonna do or not, I've been literally sleeping every single day after that. After I need to do breakfast and help the kids get ready to school, I literally come back to my room. I don't even open like anything. I just literally come back to my room. I set a timer for an hour, and at least for that hour, I'm giving myself permission to just lay in bed and sleep. And there's been days where I've even slept more than that because I was just feeling tired, especially with my period. I was just like, I can't handle this. So after the timer went off, I was just like, yeah, fuck it. I would rather, work less today and just be able to recharge, because I know if I keep pushing, like I can't handle it. Because that's the thing, when you keep pushing and when you keep putting pressure, not really listening to your needs, you then build resentment towards I was noticing, like, when I feel tired, I start feeling a bit more angry, a bit more on edge. I build resentment towards like having to do these things, towards having to like be with the kids, towards blah, blah. And I don't want to feel that way, because this is an entire year that I'm experiencing. I don't want to like build that energy up. Like, I want to feel good about this experience as much as possible. I want to feel grateful. I want to feel excited. I want to feel present. So in order to do that, like, I've given myself all these different things that I've noticed have been really supportive to me. And for example, taking a shower, like a warm shower whenever I feel like I need to calm down and just soothe myself, or doing different things like drawing and painting, coloring, reading my book, watching a show or a nice movie at the end of the day, not being too much on my phone, actually sleeping earlier. That's something that I started doing this week, and I'm so fucking grateful for it, because like the latest few weeks, there was a few days where I was going to bed like late for someone who has to wake up at 6:30, when I'm the person that I know I need to sleep at least 9 hours to feel like I can handle the day. Like, the day has been tough for that reason, actually. So I'm wondering if I should have taken a nap after the cleaning lady was gone, but I just felt like I needed to go outside, so I ended up going on the bike ride. I don't regret it at all, but I'm still like trying to understand what is best or not. But this to say, like, moving out has come with so many things, so many nuances that I'm still like learning about and figuring out, and really like learning to listen to myself. I think that's been the most important part, instead of like trying to push away and trying to just force things in a certain direction. Just really like listen, listen to myself, listen to the flow, listen to what feels truly good and what feels nurturing above everything else, like what feels nurturing to my soul, what feels supportive to what I want, and so that's been it. And it's been, it's I feel like I still don't have words to describe exactly what this experience has been for me, because like I think I'm still processing. I think there's still so many changes happening internally as well. So I don't fully know how to put it into words. I don't fully know how to understand it myself yet. But here we are, here we are. And it's been beautiful, and it's been healing in so many ways. And I'm learning so much about myself, about being an adult, because like for the first time ever, I mean, I know this might sound like, white girl privilege or whatever talking, but it's the first time I've actually had to, wash my clothes. Like, I'm gonna be fucking honest, when I was in the UK, I didn't do it once. I don't remember if I did it in Italy as well. I don't remember how. I'm sure I did it in Italy, but I think I would just like mix it up with all the kids' clothes, so I didn't really have to think too much about it, because the mom would just do it, so I would put my clothes like in the same basket as everyone else. But with here, I'm fully responsible for my room, fully responsible for my shit, and I love that. And it's been like a learning process, not like washing my clothes. Like, I know how to do that, I just haven't had to do it like consistently, It's not like I've never done a machine, but it's different now. Like, I have different responsibilities, and I feel like those are the responsibilities that I'll also have when I'm on my own, in my own apartment, which it's interesting to see how I'm navigating all of that. And it feels like an exploration of something that I never thought I would have, like I genuinely don't think I ever thought I would be in this place where I'm like becoming an adult. I just could never picture it. I know that sounds weird, but I genuinely could never picture it, because like when I thought about that, I felt doomed. I felt like things wouldn't work out. So it's like every single day, I'm stepping into uncharted territory, into completely like the complete unknown. And the thing is, like, I also don't have a specific guideline, that I'm following. Like, I'm not following anyone else's footsteps. I'm not following the like status quo. I'm not following tradition. Like, I'm not following any rules that I've learned about and grew up learning my entire life. When people tell you like you should study, then you get a job, then you're not, like, I'm not following any of that. And that's also like terrifying, because like I'm like, what am I building? I don't know. When you go to college and you get a degree and you didn't find a job, like, you kind of know what you're trying to achieve. And I mean, it's not like I don't know what I'm trying to achieve, but it's like, I don't know what that's going to look like. I know I want to get my own apartment. I know that I want to provide myself with that apartment with my business money. I know that I want to get to that point. And I know the things that I want. I know like that I want to travel, and that I want to, like have fun, have freedom, and I want to enjoy myself, and I want to create things that are impactful and that inspire me, and I want to feel inspired by the things that I create, and I want to feel all these things. Like, I know how I want to feel, and I know like certain goals that I now have that I'm finally more clear on, but I don't know what like my life is going to look like, what it's going to build up to become, if that makes sense. And that's an uncomfortable thought still. I don't feel fully comfortable with the idea that I don't understand, especially because there's no specific structure to what I'm doing. It's not like AuPair is a job. It's not like I'm gonna climb up a ladder and get to like being the CEO of the AuPair, whatever. Like, I guess I could try, but I don't want to, because it's not, like, it's the first time I'm doing this through an agency, but it's not like at all that type of situation where you have like a specific path that you take. And so that makes me wonder, like, what's going to happen after this year? Like, who am I going to become? Like, how am I going to continue building my adult life? Like, I don't know. And I'm not really following a specific formula besides just trusting myself as I go, hoping for the best, listening to my intuition, like trusting that guidance wherever it takes me. Yeah, quite terrifying, isn't it? but yeah, I'd say it has never disappointed me. That's the truth. Following my intuition has never disappointed me. I mean, I am here, and again, I'm loving this experience so far. It's definitely very different from Italy, but I think that's a good thing. You know, it feels more grounding, feels like more of what my adult life will look like in a good way. Yeah, like all the things that I feel like I needed to learn to become like an adult, like I'm learning now. And I'm also realizing like certain strengths that I don't think I've ever acknowledged in me. Like the fact that I'm good at actually taking care of kids. Like the fact that I don't want to throw them off the window. I'm so emotionally mature, much more than I thought. The fact that I actually like pay attention to the details, and I can do like the things that people are like, oh, you need to do this in this way, like, and the fact that I can actually follow through with that. I don't know, I always felt like I was incapable, and like I was what's the word, just like, yeah, incapable of doing things right. You know, I just always felt like I messed it up, like I was too, like I was, yeah, like I would fuck up along the way. And the fact that that hasn't been the experience, and that the family has constantly reassured me, like, wow, like here you like adapted so well, and you really take the things we say and do and follow through, and the way you like already knew, it felt like you already knew what you were doing from like one time that we say like, oh, can you do it this way, and you do it, like all those things that I never really realized were traits of mine. And suddenly I'm like, yeah, I guess I am doing this right. Like I guess I can do this. Like I guess I have those qualities to me that I didn't know were qualities I didn't know were there, because maybe I've definitely never acknowledged it, and I'm sure most people in my life haven't as well. Actually, quite the opposite. I always felt like I was a failure, or that I couldn't do things right. So to have like an experience where that's not the case, and it feels like I am doing things right, and it feels like I am what they needed, and that I'm like doing a great job, that feels good. That feels really, really good. Like it makes me feel like, I guess I'm not a complete, you know, crazy person, or not a complete whatever. Like I can actually do things. That makes me feel good about myself. And that has happened in the last few jobs that I've done, to be honest, which I think is only because it's aligning with who I'm becoming, and the new beliefs that I'm rewiring about myself. It's just like, yeah, like I actually have amazing qualities to me, and I never thought I would use those qualities for like what I'm doing. Never thought I would work with kids ever in a million years. You would have never, like I would have never seen that coming. You know, like I would have never guessed. I would have literally told you you're like actually completely insane, and that you should be like, you know, like mentally, like, I don't know, just no, absolutely not. And the fact that I'm doing this now, and I actually enjoy it, and then it almost makes me feel weird, because my entire life I thought jobs had to be different, you know, that I had to have a corporate job or do things in a certain way, and I'm not doing it, and it's working out for me, and it's like, yeah, it's weird. It feels uncomfortable. And all of these things that I'm telling you right now, I'm gonna have this conversation with my therapist, because like I'm generally still like in this belief that like, yeah, why doesn't it get to work out this way? Like, why can't I live in this way? Yeah, it's the fact that all those things, I just never really acknowledged them or validated that in me. And I'm like, yeah, but those things are strengths. That makes me someone that can do things right, and maybe not the things that I thought I needed to do right. Like maybe I wasn't made to be in a desk job. I've always known that because the idea of it has always been like, ugh, for me. It's always been something that I hated, the idea of just, sitting at a desk for an entire day. And I knew I wanted to do something dynamic. I knew I wanted to travel. I knew I wanted to explore life, and I'm doing that now in a way. So I am where I'm supposed to be, and it's still I'm still trying to understand it all. Because genuinely it still feels this is weird, this is going well, and is it okay to trust it? That's literally where I am right now, and I've been talking about it a lot and just reassuring myself, and yeah, it's been such an experience, and I'm still processing all of this. And I really wanted to take a moment to just sit here and talk a little bit with you, because I feel like I've had very cool episodes coming up, and I think this is beautiful too. I think it's important to talk about these moments of transition, these moments of change. I know a lot of you girls are in your 20s, so whether you have moved out already or, I just know that you're all going through a moment where it's time to go into a new phase, and it's a new era of you. And I think in one way or the other, you're going to relate to this. And I just felt like I needed to put it out there, even for me. I don't always want to be the person that has these episodes for tries to be helpful purposely. I also just want to be myself, and I want to share a little bit about my journey, because that also helps me somehow. It helps me normalize the things that I'm going through. It helps me process. It helps me make sense of it. It helps me feel like it's not for nothing. So I just really wanted to stop by and make this episode, even though it's coming out a little later this week, but I think that's okay, So thank you so much for listening to me. I really, really appreciate it. And if you took something away from everything that I said, I hope it didn't sound like total nonsense. But so if you did take anything away from this episode, or if you have, if you're going through something that kind of relates to what I talked about, I would love to know about it. So you can either comment on Spotify or just send me a DM, and I'd love to, to share a little bit with you, and hopefully make you feel seen and like you're not alone, because I know how isolating these moments of our lives can feel. So I just want you to know that you're not alone, and I'm here for you, and I will see you in the next one. That's it.